Welcome to Live Without Limits, Transform Your Thinking to Redesign Your Life, the podcast where we talk about how to stay grounded, grow stronger, and show up for yourself even when life doesn't go as planned. Today's episode is a tender and real because we're talking about something most of us face at some point in our lives, heartbreak. So the title of today's show is Heartbreak Without Breaking Down, How to Cope Before It Consumes You. Whether it's the end of a relationship, the loss of a dream, or the silence of someone who you thought would stay. Heartbreak hurts, but here's what I want you to know. You can feel pain without letting it destroy you. And in this episode, it is all about handling heartbreak before it overwhelms you. We'll look at why it hits so hard, how it to recognize when you're nearing emotional burnout, and the healthy ways to stay grounded through it all. Let's take this journey together because heartbreak is part of life and every day because we never know when it's going to hit. But breaking down doesn't have to be. Why heartbreak hits so hard? Heartbreak isn't just about losing someone, it's about losing what they represented: comfort, routine, identity, even your imagined future. It's not just emotional, it's physical. Studies show that the brain registers heartbreak similarly to physical pain. That tight chest, the exhaustion, the sudden tears, it's real. It's not imagining it. What makes it worse? We often try to suppress it or stay strong, but ignoring pain doesn't heal it. It delays it. And that's why it often hits us like a tidal wave in days or weeks later. Common emotional reactions include shock or disbelief. This can't be happening. Anger or blame at them, at yourself, at the universe. Guilt, wondering what you did wrong. Withdrawal, isolating yourself because you don't want to be a burden. Here are real life examples of how emotions like shock, guilt, disbelief, shame, and blame can show up during a heartbreak or emotional distress. Shock is the body's immediate response to unexpected emotional pain. It often feels surreal or like you're outside of your own experience. Numbness, you feel nothing even though you know something devastating happened. Saying, this doesn't feel real, or I keep thinking that I'll wake up and it won't be true. Difficulty functioning. You might stare at a wall for hours or forget how to do everyday tasks. Physical symptoms, shaking hands, shallow breathing, or a racing heart. Guilt often appears when you take responsibility for the breakup or the pain, whether it's justified or not. If only I had tried harder, maybe they wouldn't have left. Replaying what you said or did, constantly questioning your role in the loss, apologizing repeatedly, even after the relationship ends, staying in contact with the person just to make things right. Disbelief. Disbelief is when your mind can't accept the new reality. It's part of an emotional denial. For example, checking the social media constantly to see if they post something that gives you hope. Talking about the relationship in the present tense. We are so good together. Refusing to tell friends or family it's over. Expecting them to call or show up any minute. Keeping your phone charged or staring at the door. Shame. Shame involves the belief that you are flawed because of the heartbreak. It's internal and deeply personal. I must not be lovable. Avoiding social events because you don't want people to know that you failed. Feeling embarrassed that the relationship ended, even if you weren't at fault. Believing that you are broken or unworthy of love. Blame. Blame can be directed outward or inward and often marks deeper pain. They ruined everything. I never should have trusted them. Blaming yourself. I always mess things up. I'm the problem. Obsessing over the other person's flaws or mistakes as a way to justify your pain. Anger at the universe or life itself. Why does this always happen to me? Each of these emotional is normal, but when left unknowledgeable, they can turn into long-term emotional blocks. Understanding what's happening inside you is the first step towards not letting heartbreak consume you. Early warning signs. You're being overwhelmed. Before breakdown comes, signs as if you can catch them early, you can protect yourself. Here are a few. You're not eating or sleeping well. You're overanalyzing every moment of the relationship. You can't focus on anything else. You're replaying conversations, reading old texts, or stalking social media. You feel like you're floating, disconnected from your body and your world. If any of this sounds like you, pause. You're not weak. You're hurting, and you deserve care. And, shoot. Heartbreak is not a character flaw. It's a wound that sounds, well, let's start over. Heartbreak is not a character flaw. It's a wound that needs tending. And just like any wound, it will get worse if ignored. So coping with heartbreak is a healthy way that means acknowledging your pain, honoring your emotions, and giving yourself the space and tools to heal, not just suppress or avoid the hurt. So here are some powerful, practical ways to cope. Let yourself feel everything. And always remember this, that you have to let yourself deal with it and actually feel what's going on. So don't bottle it up. Grief is a part of healing. Cry if you need to. Scream into a pillow. Journal every messy thought. Letting emotions move through you is better than letting them get stuck inside you. Name what you're feeling. Use words to describe your experience: sadness, rejection, loss, guilt, relief. Emotional labeling gives your brain structure and makes big feelings more manageable. Keep a journal. Write daily. Uncensored. Try prompts like, what do I miss? What am I learning about myself? What boundaries do I want next time? Set clear boundaries. Limit or cut off contact with the person, at least temporarily. Unfollow or mute their social media to avoid emotional triggers. Communicate with mutual friends about your need for space. Reach out for support. Talk to a trusted friend, a family member, or a therapist. Join support groups or online forums where others are going through the same. Don't isolate. Connection bring perspective and strength. Create a grounding routine. Stick to simple daily rituals. Wake up, move your body, eat meals, go outside. Structure helps you stay rooted when your emotions feel unstable. Channel the pain creatively. Express your feelings through art, music, poetry, or movement. Emotional energy is powerful. Transform it into something beautiful or meaningful. Shift the narrative. Reframe the story from I was rejected to I'm making space for something aligned. Heartbreak can reveal what you truly want, need, and deserve. Practice self compassion. Talk to yourself like you would a hurting friend. Kind, patient, encouraging. Let go of the pressure to move on quickly. Healing isn't linear. Reconnect with yourself. Do things that make you feel like you again. Hobbies, walks, new books, travel. Rediscover your worth outside of the relationship. Healthy ways to cope before you break down. Let's talk about how to take care of yourself before the heartbreak becomes overwhelming. Name what you're feeling. You don't need to have it all figured out. Just say it out loud or write it down. I'm feeling abandoned. I'm scared of being alone. I miss the comfort. When you name the feeling, you disarm it. Set emotional boundaries. It's okay to mute their account. It's okay not to answer their texts. You don't owe anyone access to your pain while you're healing. Stay grounded in the physical world. Take slow walks. Breathe deeply. Get sunlight on your face. Your body can lead your mind back to calm. Take care of business needs. Eat something nourishing. Rest. Drink water. These may seem simple, but they rebuild the foundation of your resilience. Create a rescue list. Write down 5 things that bring you comfort: music, people, places, books, routines. Keep it handy for those moments when you feel yourself spiraling. Heartbreak recovery isn't one big act, it's a series of small choices made consistently. Mindset shifts to help you heal. Let's shift perspective for a moment. You are not broken, you are becoming. This heartbreak isn't the end of your story, it's a chapter. a painful one, yes, but also a transformational one. You didn't fail, you just became something ended. Relationships, even painful ones, teach us, they hold us a mirror. Ask yourself, what am I learning about my emotional needs? What boundaries did I not enforce? What parts of me have I neglected in this relationship? Use this season to reconnect with who you are outside of the love that you lost. You are still worthy of love, joy, and connection, starting with the relationship that you build with yourself. Building a good relationship with yourself is one of the most powerful things you can do for your emotional well being, resilience, and happiness. Here are easy and practical ways to start nurturing that relationship every day. Talk to yourself with kindness. Replace inner criticism with encouragement. Instead of saying, I messed up again, say, I'm learning and improving. Think, what would I say to someone that I love? Start a self reflection journal. Write down your thoughts, your wins, and your worries. Use prompts like, what do I need more of today? What am I proud of from this week? How did I show up for myself? Treat yourself like a friend. Would you ignore your best friend's needs? No. So honor your own. Rest when you're tired. Eat when you're hungry. Take breaks when you're overwhelmed. Spend time alone intentionally. Go for a walk. Have a solo coffee day. Or just sit in silence. Learn to enjoy your own company without distractions or the need to perform. Celebrate your small wins. Don't wait for big achievements to acknowledge yourself. Got out of bed when it was hard. That counts. Showed up to something anxious but did it anyway. Celebrate it. Stop comparing yourself to others. Social media is a highlight reel, not real life. Focus on your journey. Ask, am I better than I was yesterday? Set boundaries that are perfect for your energy. Learn to say no without guilt. Know your limits and respect them. Boundaries tell the world and yourself that you matter. Keep promises that you make to yourself. Build trust with yourself by following through. Start small. I'll drink more water today. Do it. Trust builds momentum. Create a feel good ritual. Light a candle. Listen to your favorite music. Stretch for 5 minutes. Do something daily that reminds you, I deserve to feel good. Practice self forgiveness. Everyone makes mistakes. Learn the lesson. Forgive yourself and move on. Holding on to guilt only delays your growth. Try saying something and this affirmation each morning. I am learning to love and accept myself exactly as I am while I grow into who I want to be. So let's look at reflection and journal prompts. Let's end with a reflection and a journal prompt. that if you're in the middle of heartbreak, I want you to hear me. You will not feel this way forever. This pain is temporary, and you are already healing, even if it doesn't feel like it. Here's your journal prompt for today. What parts of me am I rediscovering now that I'm healing? Sit with it. Be gentle with your answers. You're not just moving on, you're moving forward. Now, if this episode helped you, share it with someone who's hurting or tag me with your thoughts at Davida Shinsky. It's normalized healing and healthy, empowering ways. So, now there are many things and ways that heartbreak can get to you and affect you. And a lot of times we don't always understand how to deal with heartbreak or how to accept it or understand it. And the idea here is that when you're dealing with heartbreak, then you're dealing with a real feeling and emotion. And it's just a situation of learning how to deal with it and always how to understand where you're coming from. Because heartbreak is a deeply painful experience, but it's important to remember that it's also a temporary one. Healing takes time, patience, and self compassion. So here's a breakdown of how to cope with and eventually heal from a broken heart. But also, when it happens because someone you know died suddenly, that's when it becomes something that really affects you in such a way that it's it's it can really put you in a situation where you actually feel, let me say it this way. Heartbreak after someone's death is also known as bereavement or grief, and it's natural and deeply painful emotional response to the loss of a loved one. It involves a range of intense feelings, including sadness, emptiness, despair, and even physical symptoms like fatigue, aches, and sleep disturbances. While it's a normal part of the human experience, understanding the grieving process and seeking support can help you navigate the difficult time. So, understanding the grief process, emotional responses, grief can manifest as a profound sadness, feelings of emptiness, loneliness, and even anger or guilt. The physical symptoms, physical reactions like changes to appetite, sleep disturbances, aches, and fatigue are common. Cognitive changes, individuals may experience difficulty concentrating, confusion, or difficult accepting the reality of the loss. The stages of grief. While often disturbed as a series of stages, grief is not always linear. People may experience denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance in different orders or revisit certain stages. If you've ever read the book by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, which was about death and dying and the 5 stages, these are the 5 stages of death, death and dying: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and finally acceptance. So these are also the stages of grief. So what is the complicated grief? If in some cases grief can become complicated, leading to prolonged distress and difficulties with daily functioning. This can include increased risk of depression, suicidal thoughts, and substance misuse. Coping with heartbreak after death. Allowing grief. It's crucial to allow yourself to feel the emotions of grief and not try to suppress them. Seeking support, talking to friends, family, or grief counselors can provide comfort and guidance. Self-care, prioritizing self-care, including healthy eating, regular exercise, and sufficient sleep is essential to managing grief. Journaling, writing down thoughts and feelings can be helpful way to process emotions. Remembering the loved one, honoring the memory of the deceased through sharing stories, looking at photos, or creating a memorial can be a meaningful way to cope. Now, look at support groups. Connecting with others who are also grieving can provide a sense of community and shared understanding. If grief is overwhelming or complicated, seeking professional help from a therapist or grief counselor is recommended. Now, one of the reasons I think this is so important is because when you lose someone close to you, it is a profoundly painful experience that can cause significant heartbreak and grief. Bereavement is the period of sorrow and mourning that follows the death of a loved one and its natural and universal response. Understanding the grief and the heartbreak. Intense emotional physical reactions can manifest as intense sadness, emptiness, despair, shock, numbness, guilt, and even anger. Physical symptoms can include changes in appetite and sleep patterns, fatigue, stomach upset, heartaches, and a weakened immune system. It can easily impact on your daily life. The pain of grief can be so overwhelming that it may make it difficult to perform daily tasks, concentrate, or maintain social relationships. So there's no right or wrong way to deal with the pain of grief and the overwhelming, which can make it difficult to impact. So there's no set timeline or order for emotions. And the you can experience a mix of feelings that may come in waves, long-term effects. While the intensity of grief typically lessens over time, the sense of loss and longing may remain as a part of your life. So you need to allow yourself to grieve. It's crucial to acknowledge your pain and allow yourself to feel the emotions that arise rather than trying to suppress or ignore them. Crying, expressing your feelings through journaling or art, and talking to trusted friends or family can be helpful outlets. And one of the reasons that I wanted very much to touch on it is because we don't always understand it and we don't always know how to deal with those feelings and those emotions when they hit us. And often the best thing that we can do is talk to a professional, especially a grief counselor. And really and truly, the mental health field has been so misunderstood that many people don't understand that different things that hit us at different times and understanding your strength and how you can deal with many of these things and overcome them. And since they are, you never get over the death of someone that truly meant a great deal to you. And it's just learning how to live on a daily basis and make the most of what you're doing. And we never know what can re-trigger all of those feelings and bring them back up at any time in our lives. So remember, it's up to you to learn how to take control of your life and to transform your thinking, to redesign your life on a daily basis.